Welcome to London.
The tradition in London of being able to drink in the street is glorious.
It's the best city in the world. So much to do, there's so much to see.
In a perfect world, I would cheerfully see the royals' heads on pikes.
Samuel Johnson once said, "If you're tired of London, you're tired of life."
Cross the Atlantic from New York, skip over Ireland, and you hit England. The main routes go into Heathrow Airport just west of London. This is the third busiest airport in the world.
Where off to?
Going to number 1 Leicester Square, please. St. John Hotel. London, England, the capital city that draws more international visitors than any other city in the world. Bastion of good manners? Not really. No, not the London I know. In fact, how English is London anyway? The national dish, more popular than fish and chips by far, is chicken tikka masala. And any notion you might have that English food is bad, that's hopelessly outdated thinking. In fact, London has long been a food capital. Pubs, you know about, and they are truly as fine and wonderful as they are said to be. People here like to drink, often too much, and sometimes, admittedly, not well. You can understand then, perhaps, why London is one of my favorite cities. Often a home away from home. A layover here is a chance to see old friends, chefs who I admire, and, of course, eat the kind of unique or lost food that's hard to find in New York. If you've got to be marooned in a city for 24 or 48 hours, you could do a hell of a lot worse than London.
That's it.
Since I'm here only a short time, I like the relatively Spartan but wonderful St. John Hotel, newly opened by my friend and spiritual leader, Chef Fergus Henderson. St. John is right off Leicester Square, which is frankly a freaking slaughterhouse. But it also adjoins Chinatown and neighboring Soho, so it's near lots of good. The small restaurant downstairs serves breakfast, lunch, dinner, and room service in the same quirky, wonderful, old-school British vein as the mothership St. John Restaurant in Clerkenwell, my favorite restaurant in the world. I drop my bag and go downstairs for breakfast right away, or straight off, as they say around here. I feel like 10 pounds of in a 5-pound bag. Thanks. Well, it's a difficult choice between the pig head omelet and the anchovy toast. Sounds nice too, but the blood cake and fried egg, gotta do that. Thank you. When I first got on the plane, it smelled like a really rank odor. Naturally, I presumed it was the in-flight meal, so I medicated myself and slept fitfully. Ooh. Rich, moist, deep, dark blood cake with 2 lightly fried eggs, please. Perfection. If that's not heavy enough for you and you want the traditional full load or full English breakfast, you might try Bethnal Green. Bethnal Green is within the East End and historically working class area of London.
Get out of your posh hotels, it's no good. You want to get into the real East End and get a real fried breakfast in Bethnal Green. Leicester Square, it's got nothing on Bethnal Green.
Polici's Cafe would be an excellent option.
We've been here for over 100 years. You've got a real mix of everybody in here. We've got all sorts of people come in. The cooking's all done by my mum. Everything's homemade and home cooked.
This, terrifyingly enough, is what most Brits expect for a proper fry-up. 2 eggs, beans, tomatoes, mushrooms, white sausage, black pudding, and toast, and maybe even potatoes. All served up with a strong cup of Builder's tea. Oh, thank you. That's pretty. So delicious. More like the French Bourdain noir than the black pudding. Oh man, look at that. I just need to put on a clean shirt, shower, shave, take my vitally needed medication,
Just little things like that.
Clean shirt, shower, shave, then off to meet the man himself, the walking Buddha, Chef Fergus Henderson. Parkinson's not slowing him down much. He's still a creature of habit. Same cafe every day, Bar Italia in Soho, famous for its coffee and its excellent barista services. I've spent many hours here myself, and I'm not usually a coffee culture sort of a guy.
Hello.
How are you, brother?
Very good. Lovely to see you.
Good to see you, man. You well?
I'm good.
And the family?
Feisty. Getting larger.
Nothing new there?
How's your flock?
Doing very well. So anyway, really enjoying the hotel. I've been eating very well. I love the little room service menu they bring in the afternoon.
It's good.
How are you enjoying your new life as a hotelier?
Well, it's odd. It's a child. It doesn't go to sleep ever. Someone's always going to want something at some point. Hotels of constant beating heart of that's what it's tended
I mean,
to.
nobody's calling you in the middle of the night saying my faucet's not working.
No, fortunately they call someone else.
What do you have, an espresso? Is that a cappuccino?
Macchiato?
Macchiato.
30 Branca.
Oh, yeah? Is that a good idea? No, I think it's probably a good idea.
Let's create 2 30 Brancas.
Perfect, thank you.
Fergus, like me, is usually in need of a little help around now. A Fernet Branca or two, perhaps.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's hope.
Steadying.
Steadying, definitely.
I have to let you know that I made a big move to your hotel. It's like when I walk by Hazlitt's now, I go around the block. I feel like a little treacherous, but...
Just down the street, the hotel I usually stay at, Hazlitt's on Frith Street. It's a wonderful, magical place, occupying a slightly sagging group of adjoining historic Georgian houses. One of the last homes of the great British writer William Hazlitt. The tradition of writers lives on. Most leave books behind. Please don't remove me from the ranks of the great and not so great. Please, I will be back.
Here I am in London. As you know, I'm a frequent visitor. You can live anywhere. Why here?
As a mixture of cultures go, London's pretty extraordinary, the way they've all kind of reasonably harmoniously get on and do their thing.
It's fairly obvious why this is one of our favorite spots.
Even I know this is like the best cup of coffee, or damn close to it.
Yeah, and it's, who could wish, a more charming spot.
Every time I would wake up in London, my old hotel was down. I would just stagger down here, sit down.
I could suck these coffees down all day, but I have a vital purchase to make and just enough time to do so before lunch.
Something you should know, never take a mini cab. Only black cabs. Black cabs, meter, know how much you're paying. Plus, not only do they know where they're going, but they know alternate ways to get there. Mini cabs, they pretty much charge whatever the hell they like. And the likelihood that they know where they're going is remote in the extreme.
Bond Street runs through Mayfair between Oxford Street and Piccadilly. It's where refined gentlemen such as, okay, not me, buy their shoes and shirts and things. I'm going to G.J. Cleverly's.
Handmade shoes, it's a huge luxury, but you know how much is a decent shoe these days? They're ridiculously stupid expensive. The shoes will last forever.
I've been kind of fascinated with the relationship between English bespoke shoemakers and their clients since seeing Alan Bennett's play An Englishman Abroad, a true account of the British spy and traitor Guy Burgess's life in Moscow post-defection. He may have defected to Russia, but he continued to get his shoes made by the same man in London. I found that detail intriguing. What could be so special about them? George Glasgow is the main man at Cleverly's.
I'm George.
Hello, George. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Now, I understand we're going to try and make you some shoes today. Well, not today, but we're going to start the process anyhow.
Yes.
Handmade shoes are expensive. They are therefore expected to last in good condition for a lifetime.
We will make you one of these that will conform to the measurements around the foot, the length of the foot. Now, we'll cut this in paper, and then the leather's cut out, and then it's all stitched together to form the top part of the shoe. And then when the last comes out, Then it finishes up here. This is the Bible. This is this is where they all hang.
Source.
And then when the customer says he wants some more shoes, they're all named and numbered. We come up and bring them down to the workshop and then carry on work, making whichever style, whichever colour the customer so wishes.
There's something very poignant about this, actually, on these lives. It's a delicate question, but I can't help asking, how do you know when your customer has passed, and do you keep up on these things?
Well, we never do know. Sometimes we'll write to him, and then, you know, you might get a reply, sorry, would you please take Mr. So-and-so off the mailing list?
Right. So presumably all of these people are still out there somewhere.
What I'd like to do now, we'll start the process of the full measurements around your foot.
Once you have an impression made of your feet, they keep it forever. And you can presumably continue ordering shoes to your exact fit for the remainder of your years, wherever you are.
In your case, your arch seems to be quite strong, which is a sign of a good, strong, healthy foot.
At least something's going right.
If you object to blowing that kind of money on a pair of shoes, no matter how good, how beautiful, or how ultimately smart that might be in the long run, that's understandable. There are other options. Camden for everything for the aspiring goth. Portobello if you're considering visiting an ashram in India or Fish is getting back together. Or Spitalfields for middle-class, antique, Banksy prints, that sort of.
Generally speaking, from this point until me walking around in the shoes.
I would probably say about 6 months.
Right. I'm very excited. This will be the first pair of handmade shoes I've ever had, and it's a lifelong relationship. I could call and order shoes forever, and
exactly.
Set.
Me, classic, old dude, expensive shoes. That's where I am these days. Ramon's shirt, gone.
Shirt maker, eh? I need one of those. Next.
Just mind your handbag, because you might get robbed, but nice place.
London is built along the banks of the Thames. That's Thames, dude, not Thames, okay? Traffic can be really, really bad here. So a quicker, more effective way to see things might well be the relatively touristy boat ride.
I've heard about these British nautical types, though. I have some concerns about possible sodomy on the open sea, as that's a grand British naval tradition.
Okay, it is a commuter boat, but it works. It's not a bad way to get around if you have the time. See the sights.
Cast off. Avast, ye. Hoist the bugger the Gilligan.
There are a host of reliable guidebooks telling you what you can see from the river. Or you can just make up your own facts.
Over there, the famous Wonder Wheel. In spite of 17 known fatalities in the last year, a very popular spot for tourists. The building next to it is the famous Felcher Gallery, containing one of the most magnificent collections of modern art. This is the Blair Bridge, constructed to celebrate Tony Blair's slavish acquiescence to George Bush's every popcorn fart. And the famous Sea Containers House, famous for their 24-hour buffet. Your choice of dressing, ranch or blue. Over there, that's the headquarters of MI6, Britain's Foreign Intelligence Service.
It seems you shouldn't even joke about these things, or Queenie will send out the goon squad.
You're gonna get like a hood thrown over your head and pulled away in a black van tonight around 2 o'clock in the morning. Oh, we're there.
Back to Soho, where Fergus has been waiting for me while I tootle back and forth on my boat. Soho during the day bears no resemblance to what it becomes at night. At night, it can be both fun and, unfortunately, douche apocalypse. You never know.
If you stay in a hotel right on Frith Street, you kind of want a back room, let's put it that way. It's loud.
We grab a taxi.
Sweetings on Queen Victoria Street.
Fergus loves this place, Sweeting's, and has been trying to get me here forever. These captains of industry could presumably eat anywhere, but they come here. It's one of the great institutions of what's called the City, meaning London's financial district. We drain a few black velvets while waiting for a table. Metal tankards of Guinness and champagne.
Oh, nice. How long has it been here?
Long enough.
Long enough. Lunch only, or do they do dinner?
Lunch only.
Lunch only. That's really obstinate of them.
Yes, possibly.
You were made to feel, I'm told, like you're back at boarding school, minus the caning and the sodomy. Your waiter is your waiter for life. You wait until he, and only he, has a table. It's a relationship that outlasts some marriages.
You know, these people are like running the world, and they're getting hammered. They're getting drunk.
Thank goodness. What's it tell us?
It slows them down, so we'll rush towards destruction a little less quickly.
Yes.
Good. And it's always Angela for you.
Yeah.
Always. Must be.
It has to be. Have scampi, with chips, very mushy peas.
Yeah, I can do
Yes, mushy peas, yeah.
The smoked haddock with poached eggs.
Thank you very much. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
If this is too soup-ridden for you, there's pie. The Brits love pies, and they're very good at them. Even the young hipsters of Spitalfields love them, at places like Square Pie Company, where you can get a traditional meat pie with mash and beans or mushy peas for under 10 quid. Not bad in an otherwise very expensive city. Or west, there's the Newman Arms. No tourists here. Just properly poured pints and pie. Beef and Guinness pie, lamb and rosemary pie, and savory suet puddings. Completely awesome. Do not miss. Or out east, there's G. Kelly. They do pretty much one thing and one thing well. Beef pie, with the option for double pie or double mash, or both. Back at Sweeting's, though, I'm having lightly smoked haddock with an egg on top. A nod, perhaps, to colonial-era kedgeree. Fergus always orders the same thing. Fried scampi and chips. Every day, always, and forever. Hey, if it's good, it's good.
Well, yeah, gotta do that. I mean, where did this dish come from? I mean, what's the matter with peas? Why did people start mushing them? Oh, that's why.
They mush well.
They do. So, how many times do you think you've eaten in your entire life?
A lot.
100 times?
I proposed to Margot.
You proposed to Margot here.
And I'm not sure.
You said, I'm not sure?
Yes. There you go.
Thank you for introducing me to this place.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I leave Fergus digging into a hunk of Stilton and head for the Tube. The Tube is London's subway. Older, cleaner, but no more efficient than New York's. But it still often beats driving. And taxis here, very expensive proposition.
Black cab is about £1 every 100 yards.
Do use good manners, as some citizens of London are likely to take offense at being jostled or disrespected, and would love nothing more than to put the boot into your skull. Also avoid the Tube at all costs during rush hour. It is a nightmare.
When you're a tourist and you're in London, don't use the Tube at rush hour.
Travel cards for the day are more expensive in the morning because Londoners don't want tourists on the subway when they're rushing to work. Clogs them up. After 9 a.m., they get cheaper.
Okay, if I was here for 24 hours, I'd just say, look, make full use of it. Buy yourself a 24-hour tube purse or bus purse.
Everyone will tell you to get an Oyster card, but get a travel card. A day travel card lasts 24 hours and you can go anywhere. But please, move quickly. Do not bring a backpack on a rush hour train. Always stand up for pregnant ladies, whether it was you that put the bun in the oven or not. Then, the Tube might, just might, be your friend. Just don't be a is what I'm saying, right?
celebrity, chef, money, being on the telly, who cares? Here, babe, buy an ice cream, yeah? Here, and this one. Don't lose it, put it in your pocket.
Unfortunately for Americans, the pound is worth twice as much as the dollar. So you should know that it is extremely expensive here. You get into a cab, it's basically going to cost you about $30 just to get in. A beer, about, what, $7, $8. It's good beer.
I've been to London too many times to do the stuff everybody says you're supposed to do here. Actually, I've never done any of them, ever.
I will not be going to the Tower of London. I will not be going to Big Ben. I will not be visiting Buckingham Palace. Personally, this is just my opinion, but in a perfect world, I would cheerfully see the royals' rapidly balding heads on pikes paraded through the streets, whilst the hooting populace hurls excrement at them.
This thing, the London Eye, it's the most popular paid tourist attraction in London. Why? I have no idea.
Bye.
Back when I used to be a carny in Carney, that's called the Chumpheister.
Ooh, look, we're going up. Ooh, we're coming down. Big deal. You could have spent that time productively. Like by going to Borough Market in southeast London. Artisanal bakers, dedicated pork producers, every variety of delicious English food to stuff in your gob. Surrounding the market are some of the best specialty food shops in the country, like the legendary Neal's Yard Dairy, where everybody who loves cheese gets their cheese. And the English, by the way, make some of the best cheeses in the world. After scoring some port and Stilton for later, you can wander over to Wright Brothers Oyster and Porterhouse. Because the English also have amazing oysters and seafood, much of the oysters here coming from their own park in Cornwall. And you know what else they do supremely well here? Traditional pubs that have yet to be screwed up by our more modern, uglier times. Unlike so many pubs these days, there's no music, no slot machines, just good pints and what you need. Like bric-a-brac? Something for the loved one? Again, head out east to Hackney. They have all the cool. How about some unspeakable curiosities from a true little shop of horrors?
Hello, how do you do?
Oh, it may look normal from the outside, but inside, it's an ever-expanding collection of some pretty dark.
Oh, these are all speculums. Oh, with the vagina in a jar. Oral sadism and the vegetarian personality? Oh, that's a really terrifying doll. I might go for that. How do I explain a daddy's special dolly don't touch? It's just like everything I want here leads to an awkward conversation. Oh, celebrity poo. Amy Winehouse. Oh, Kylie Minogue. Who's collecting this? Or 15 pounds per sniff. 60 for A-list, 50 for B-list, 40 for C-list, 20 for D-list, and under. You'd get like the entire Kardashian family for under $100. Oh. Russell Brand's pubes, 70 pounds. 70 pounds not to have seen that.
I could browse happily forever, but owner Suzette Field is on hand to help me focus on the perfect gift for my personal lifestyle.
Two-headed calf skull, fully articulated porpoise skeleton, the 18th century penis of a hanged man, erect penis. It did once belong to Oscar Wilde. That's a shrunken head, but that's not a real shrunken head. That's actually made from a jaguar. If you're getting a new house, you could buy a mummified mouse and put it in your floorboards, and that's supposed to be good luck for the house.
Is it? Movement is just great on this. So much cool stuff. All the stuff I want would totally traumatize my 4-year-old. It's a mummified what?
A mummified piglet.
Oh. Oh yeah, that has my name written all over it. Yes, I think I need that.
Oh, good. So your daughter won't mind?
No, I don't think so. On balance, I think the mummified pig fetus is far less alarming than one of the Victorian dolls would be.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Right, thank you.
Baby, I bought you a present. Oh, it's beautiful, honey. Thank you for thinking of me.
You'll find that pubs in London are landmarks, and they're very good meeting places, social places, in daytime and nighttime.
Wonderful afternoon, perfect weather. There's a camera walking backwards in front of me.
Socializing in London revolves around pubs, and any time of day is fine. Personally, I prefer late afternoon when they're quiet, especially if I'm meeting Marco Pierre White.
Pint of Guinness, please. Properly poured Guinness, a thing of beauty.
Top list of no-nos when going to the pub in England.
Buying a shandy. No. Buying.
Go on, sorry to interrupt.
No.
Interrupting. There's a no-no right there.
Buying a half pint.
Yeah.
I mean, they make pint glasses for a reason.
Yeah, fill it up to the top.
All right.
Marco was the first celebrity chef. The notion didn't exist until he created it. He was the youngest chef in history to win 3 Michelin stars, an English guy, working class from the northern city of Leeds, who'd never even been to France. A few years after getting his stars, he gave them back when he retired from the kitchen.
Cheers.
Cheers. Good to see you. You're going to the pub business now.
I like being a landlord. It's more suited to my humble beginnings. But what I like about pubs are the most natural environment to eat in. So you can have a pint, you feel comfortable. You sit down, you have a bite to eat, it's comfortable.
Where are we eating tonight?
Wheeler's of St. James.
And this a new venture for you?
Wheeler's is the oldest fish restaurant in the world. And now what I've done is I've injected life back into it. Lovely seeing you.
Time flies when you're sinking pints, but there's someone I must meet before dinner.
Okay, how he pulls.
This is Clive, his hunting dog.
I need a dog. I should have a dog. I'm just not walking fast enough for his taste.
Better suited to tearing through the forest and snapping bunny necks, he quickly commits an offense that could get me a 200-pound fine. Crapping in close proximity to the royal residence.
Clive,
look at him, he's got a view of the park now.
Let's hope he doesn't see a pigeon.
Another reason why London is a great city, because we have so many parks, beautiful parks.
Squirrel pie in our future.
I mean, have you ever eaten squirrel?
I have.
Oh, disgusting.
In Missouri, it's actually pretty good.
Oof. Clive, come on, boy.
I know it's fascinating, but...
So there's Buckingham Palace. Beautiful, isn't it?
Yep.
Located within minutes of St. James Park, Wheeler's is one of those inexplicably English institutions. A place specializing in seafood. It is, like so many of Marco's ventures over the years, nonsensical in the most wonderful ways. He's closed the entire front room and bar for our meal.
You've closed the entire bar for this.
Yeah.
Well,
You're my
thank you.
friend. I won't do it for anybody else. Should we order some food?
Yeah.
I'd like a plate of smoked salmon. I'd like a fresh crab. I'd like a lardo. I'd like a quail's eggs maintenon. I'd like a parfait. I'd like a terrine foie gras. I'd like some calamari and a prawn cocktail. Just a start.
Meanwhile, all across town, chances are a large number of people are eating England's national dish, chicken tikka masala. Curry, Indian food, has channeled through the British colonial experience and tastes. At Hot Stuff in Stockwell, for instance, a small family restaurant serves up the quintessential selection of what has long since become identified as British food. Wheeler's, on the other hand, harkens back to another era. It's been around since 1856, before Lincoln was elected president. Marco, it should be pointed out, is a great fan of tradition and the old school. There are dishes from Escoffier-era France, and classic stuff he just likes.
I know this dish. You do this dish at
In my
Yew
pubs.
Tree. Oh.
The only difference is, in Maxime's in Paris, they would sprinkle truffles over it rather than the parsley and the cayenne. Do you like dripping?
I don't even know what that is.
It's pure fat. There we are, some Wheeler's dripping on toast.
Oh, beautiful.
The fat from beef or sometimes pork, traditionally served on toast.
Because the toast is warm, it starts to run in. Wow.
There's just some very simple crab, just crab mayonnaise. There's smoked salmon.
There is no escaping the full-press deliciousness on Planet Marco.
So this is just a classical terrine de foie gras with a sauterne jelly. So it's just really a pâté maison. It's all very 70s. And 70s calamari, just very simple.
Why do you call it 70s calamari? I mean, it is.
Because that's how we did it in the 70s.
Yeah. What is it about London that keeps you? Or what is it that you miss about London when you're not here? You know, for me, the first thing I'm doing when I come to London is I'm getting a properly poured pint at an old pub.
Well, the two things I miss when I leave London is a pint, and as soon as I arrive into Heathrow, I get my driver to pull over and we have a cup of tea.
After this much food, I'd ordinarily be rolling into bed and slipping into a food coma, but this is a layover with limited time, so we're going to keep going onwards and downwards.
I know we're in London, but I've never been here before.
Other ways of getting around in London, black cabs. They're like your cabs that are in yellow, but black.
This is necessary.
The relative civility of St. James fades from memory as we head back to Soho. At night, it's a slaughterhouse of Davidoff and Jaeger bombs, bad behavior, public urination.
No cameraman. Okay. Oh, listen to me, my friend.
The dark side of British culture. Binge drinking, drunken rickshaw tours, general yobbery. At 10:30, you're about ready to catch last orders at the bar. Usually about 11 p.m. most places, incredibly enough.
Is it this place here?
Bradley's, yeah, this is it. Want me to get you a pint, Marco?
A pint of ale.
Ale, done.
Thank you.
Bradley's is tucked away at Hanway Street by Tottenham Court Road, a tiny enclave of Spanish dive bars. It's small, the drinks are cheap, and something wonderful about London, when it's too crowded inside, you can always drink outside.
Cheers, Anthony.
So, cheers. You know, I have to say, this tradition in London of being able to drink in the street is so glorious.
Do you not do it in New York?
No, no, no. Within 2 minutes of us walking out in the street with a beer, either the bar owner would have come out and said, we're going to lose our license, or the police would have come and said, get back inside or you're going away.
No, it's great drinking a pint outside, isn't it?
Cheers. Cheers.
A short walk to our last stop on Greek Street, but in my dubious condition, I thought it better to take a black cab.
I don't remember the last time I drank so much alcohol.
Really?
This neighborhood, strangely enough, is home to some of the city's most exclusive and expensive private clubs. This is not one of them.
L'escargot.
You won't, just down the street, and you don't know Trish's. Man, it's unbelievable. It's 2 doors down. Takes a guy from New York.
Oh, the drunken mating call of the London Mail.
You know when you're telling your kitchen staff, you give them to raw, innit? You give it to them raw, boss, innit?
You're very kind.
Last one, yeah?
Thank you.
Right this way, young man.
Variously known as Trish's, also as The Hideout, or the new Evaristo Club. These names lead you through an unmarked, innocuous-seeming door to one of the true glories of London.
Hello.
I am long familiar with this establishment, having joined the club back in... I don't remember.
What's your name?
Natasha.
Hello, I'm Marco.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. This is a great place, Natasha.
Yeah.
I've never been here before.
You've never been here?
No, never.
It was originally an Italian drinking club and gambling club.
It's very cool.
You have a business like 5 feet away.
Just down the road.
I know. We've been in your restaurant a few times.
Cheers, Natasha.
Cheers.
See, now you know.
So how did you find us?
A young woman brought me here, yeah. She got to know me, and as soon as she got to know me, she said, you know, there's really only one place in London you absolutely, positively have to know. And it was this place.
This is the Savoy Club.
There is no finer establishment.
Thank you.
So it was the Italian drinking club to begin with.
Italian, yes, card gaming club.
And what was it called?
What was it called? It was called the Bistro Club, and now it's called the New Bistro Club, but a lot of people call it.
I knew it as something else. I knew it was Trish's.
Trish's, 57 Greek Street, the Hideout. It's called so many different things.
An extraordinary place. Who are those two blokes in black and white?
That's Frank Sinatra
Frankie and
Dino.
I thought it was.
Early members.
Were they early members? Were they founding members?
I don't know.
Say yes. It's just say yes. I believe they were. Who was cooler, Frank Sinatra or Dean Martin? Answer: Dean Martin.
Dean
Yes.
Martin. He's my favourite star of all time, Dean Martin.
Really?
He was a great raconteur, great comedian. He could sing, and he could act.
And most importantly, Dino never gave a Never.
I think he's the cool. Do you think he was coolest?
Coolest dude ever.
It's like George Best and Beckham. George became natural. Beckham had to work at it.
True.
It's like Gordon Ramsay and Marco Pierre White.
Exactly.
Marco didn't have to try at it. Just kidding.
Another club in the theater district in the West End.
A little place called the Phoenix Artists Club.
Usually open only to union members of stage and screen. But there's a secret to getting in if you're just in town for the night.
Anybody, any tourist who buys a ticket for the cinema, the theatre, or any show or art gallery, they retain their ticket and they can actually have a day pass to our little bohemian society here at the Phoenix.
These joints stay open later, and behavioral standards are somewhat relaxed.
Who else is up there?
There's a few people, but sort of old people.
Anthony, we're not up there.
This is the Dean Martin of drinking establishments, really. They don't give a You better bring your own photo. You should have a place just kind of like this, but...
I'll come here.
No, you shouldn't have a place like this. You should just come here regularly. It's appalling, isn't it, that an American would have
More
to...
Americans know this place.
Would have to tell you about this. And I even
Americans
have...
seem to find.
And I had a moldering membership card.
Have you?
Yeah, it didn't make it this long, but
Isn't it? Oh, well, that's interesting.
can I really? Because
Do you need to be a member?
Have a new membership.
thank you so much. I mean, really.
How much do they cost?
Membership £5.
Do you have £5?
Yeah, I do.
Life membership. Can I have one, please?
Georgie, can you get a membership?
I'll give it back to you when I get to the car.
No, it's good. You give me the
I
hit.
love the fact you bought me a life membership, Anthony.
Life membership. Hey, who loves you?
Life membership here
Thank you,
is a bargain.
Where would you go for a breakfast?
I don't really eat breakfast.
If you're hungover, why are you eating breakfast? I'll just leave it until the afternoon.
I haven't eaten breakfast in about 6 years.
Wake up with a head full of pain and a plane to catch. It's useful to soak up all that alcohol and give your shriveled brain what it needs.
Perhaps a healthy last meal. Pork-related and nutritious.
My cabbie, Darren, knows what to do and where to do it.
We're in the heart of the West End now. They called it Theatreland round here.
Yeah. Sightseeing? Not now. Not in my condition.
This is the main square, the piazza at Covent Garden.
Yeah.
You've got the big wheel over that side. I think while we're round this way, I think we're past where the Queen lives, in case she's in. Hey, give her a wave. If she's in. No, she's not in today. No, I would give her a wave otherwise. The old flag. It's the Union Jack up. That means she's out. Well, it's the best city in the world, in my opinion. There's so much to see, so much to do. The food's great.
I like the food here a lot.
Is your belly rumbling?
Yeah, getting a little hungry.
I want some greasy meat product on a roll. And pronto, my good man.
You won't be disappointed. What type of food you been eating?
Let's see, Sweetings.
Right.
Wheelers.
Okay, yeah.
Had some good black pudding with fried eggs. Didn't get a good meat pie this time around. Next time.
Yep.
I do like that.
Just coming into Belgravia, one of the poshest parts of town. You need millions to live here. It's one of London's little gems. A lot of the public walk straight past it, not knowing what it is. You'll get the best cup of Rosie Lee and a lovely bacon butty. We're lucky there's no queue at the moment.
Great.
Just beat the builders. All right, ladies.
All right. What do you think? Bacon roll or?
Egg and bacon roll is
Yeah.
that's a must. I think that's
Way
the
to
one
go.
to go for with a nice cup of tea.
How long they been here?
1920s.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right. I've driven past them 1,000 times.
that's right. So you've had a busy day?
Very busy,
Yeah.
yes.
Thank you.
Like any sauce in your sandwich?
Yeah. Well, cheers. Good health.
Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, good health.
Oh yeah, you're not going hungry after this.
And value for money. If you walked into a cafe bar, what would that cost you? Whenever you're in London, if you want to know a greasy spoon place to eat, but just ask the cab driver and you won't go far wrong.
Only black cabs though, not mini cab.
If it's not on their sat-nav, they won't know. Do you know the reason why these shelters were originally set up?
No,
To keep the cab drivers at the pubs.
because I was thinking of going right from here to a pub, but
No,
I don't think I'm going to make it. Well, thank you for the fine dining tip here.
that's my pleasure. Yeah, welcome to the London traffic. You have to be a little bit aggressive in London, otherwise you don't get anywhere.
It's brutal.
Is this as bad as the States?
Worse.
Let's get out of this mess.
Thank you.
Thanks for your company. Good
Thanks
luck.
so much.
All right. Have a good trip.